uncontested, like they did in Crimea 8 years ago, installing puppet politicians, individuals that they can manipulate from Moscow, and staging false referendums, baseless referendums on the issue of being recognised as independent. Now, cast your minds back to February of this year, when Vladimir Putin declared that he would recognise the whole of Donetsk and Luhansk regions of Ukraine as independent. He was using it as a springboard to launch some kind of military offensive, and we now know what that offensive is. So I think this is more of a reflection of the ambition that Russia still holds. Yes, the fighting has shifted eastwards and southwards. Yes, Ukraine is holding its line, but Russia seems to be putting in a lot of effort to try and put in these measures to try and legitimize what they have taken. And this is territory that Ukraine, to this point, is struggling to take back.
James Waterhouse there. Well, as this war drags on, many people have decided to return to their war-damaged homes in Kiev. The government has promised millions of dollars in repairs, but some residents have taken matters into their own hands, as Anastasia Gribanova reports.
This building is famous in Ukraine. A residential tower block struck early one Saturday morning by Russian rockets. It was once home to 400 families. It's hard to imagine that this used to be somebody's home. That was the bedroom, and over here where I'm standing, this was probably the living room where a family would sit together over a nice meal or just watching TV after a long working day. And over there was the kitchen, and there is still some food left on the table. This peaceful life was gone in an instant. And what people here, the residents of this building, are trying to do is to put it all back together. Konstantin and his family of 3 moved in 2 months before the strike. All of them were at home when the rocket hit.
I was here on the sofa. There was the TV and I was just watching the news. Suddenly there was a huge bang. There was smoke everywhere. Shards of glass were flying around, lots of dust. I was thrown back towards the kitchen. Our daughter was in the corridor. The blast waved through the mattress, pillows and duvets over her.
As more and more people return to the capital, they are arriving home to find their world in pieces. Residents are urgently having to find more money to repair their homes. Konstantin and his neighbors have already managed to raise $51,000 in donations, all thanks to a crowdfunder run by Olena.
The money donated is controlled by us, the residents. We will, of course, only spend the money on repairing our homes.
Olena also says the rebuilding effort has brought people closer together.
We have now become good friends. I like imagining what it will be like when everyone returns. This house will be filled with chatter and children's laughter.
Anastasia Gribanova, BBC News, Kyiv.
Well, we're going to stay with the fallout from the war in Ukraine, and although Europe is still sweltering under summer heat, the EU is looking ahead to this winter and what it will do if Russia cuts off gas supplies completely. The European Commission is urging member countries to cut gas consumption by 15% until March. Here's Ursula von der Leyen explaining why that's needed.
To make it through the winter, assuming there is a full disruption of Russian gas, we need to save gas to fill our gas storages faster. And to do so, we have to reduce our gas consumption. I know this is a big ask for the whole of the European Union, but it is necessary to protect us. And this is why today we propose an emergency instrument on the basis of Article 122. We have 2 objectives. One is every member state should reduce the use of gas. And our second objective is we provide a safety net for all member states.
Now, not all member states are fully on board with this plan. For example, Poland has already filled its gas storage to 98% of capacity and doesn't feel the need to cut gas use. Here's more from energy expert Christoph Rohl.
The problem is not the 15%. The problem is the political willingness to do it. The problem, as I see it, with these EU directives is this principle of unanimity, which now condemns everyone to 15%. Those who don't want to cut anything will drag their feet, and those who otherwise would probably have cut more on a voluntary basis have now very little incentive to do so.
Well, let's just examine the background to this announcement. Before the invasion of Ukraine in late February, Russia supplied Europe with around 40% of its natural gas. Germany and Italy are the two biggest importers, and a significant amount of that gas is imported via the Nord Stream 1 pipeline from Russia to Germany. You can see that in yellow. Now, Nord Stream 1 has been temporarily switched off for scheduled maintenance, and Russia is due to turn supplies back on Thursday.